Families forced into a single room. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I thought we'd have a look at another article, a continuing string of articles from Domain, where they're highlighting the human impact of the real estate industry lockdown in Victoria. As much as we hate to admit it, real estate agents do play a vital role in the community in helping people find homes and move around. I know that's hard for some people to accept. They are necessary. So let's have a look at this article, guys, about a man, the private inspection ban seeing a family forced into a single room. Now, there's 4 of them, so it ain't too bad. You could probably push it as an adventure for your eldest son for a few days, but after a while it'd be like camping, all in one. Probably a tent would actually even be bigger than a single room. But after a while, it would get pretty difficult to not go on each other's nerves. Melbourne private inspection ban sees a family forced into a single room. Tanya Bunkle had dreamed of moving closer to extended family, but never thought she would be forced to bunk in with them. That's what happens sometimes. That's what happens. Miss Bunkle, her partner Sam, and their 2 children sold their Melbourne home during Stage 3 restrictions, but are now banned from inspecting a home to buy or rent due to the city's strict lockdown. So they can't even inspect a place to rent. I mean, this just seems ludicrous. It just seems ludicrous when you can go shopping with a whole bunch of people to your local shopping center, but you can't have a one-on-one inspection at a real estate, with a real estate agent, where they can clean the environment. They can clean the door handles. They can open it all up, turn on the lights for you under controlled conditions. They can step away from you, talk to you from the other side of the room. Sure, it's not polite, but they can do it. So it's a controlled situation. It would have to be a significantly reduced risk than other potential areas for infection. Remember, we had those protests. And hang on, I'll just find it. Here we have in Melbourne. We had the protests, and this was the risk. This is the risk, were there any infections from these protests? No known transmissions, was asked by Mr. Limbrick to the Minister of Health. Thousands upon thousands of people gathering in public, yet you can't have someone doing a real estate inspection. So it seems ludicrous, guys. It really does. I get the feeling more and more with what's going on that a lot of this stuff, these strategies that they implemented, they're making it up along the way. It really feels like it, doesn't it? They'll be able to move in with her parents, but it will be very tight quarters as her parents recently downsized, meaning the young family would have to sleep in one room. Yeah, it's going to be tough. What I'd say, get a couple of bunks, get some camping bunk beds. I'd suggest you get those so you can fold and disassemble, because then you can use it for camping otherwise. It just doesn't make sense, she said. I can go to a playground with 30 other people, but I can't inspect a home one-on-one. Yeah, a lot of this doesn't make sense. The couple are joining many others who have found themselves in extra hardship during the pandemic because of the ban on one-on-one property inspections, and are asking Daniel Andrews to allow inspections to go ahead. The ban stands in stark contrast to regional Victoria, where limited outdoor auctions and one-on-one inspections are able to go ahead this weekend, as the rolling average of new coronavirus diagnoses dropped well below 5 per fortnight. I mean, this is in all of regional Victoria, guys. These numbers, they're really pushing for insanely low numbers. It really... I'm hoping this is a monumental stuff-up. Just government incompetence, a monumental stuff-up, and now they're committed. They're committed because of the loss of faith, and probably the loss of faith in the people who are rallying behind their authoritarian overlord. When the couple sold their Miranda home, inspections were allowed. These were banned in early August initially until mid-September, but the new rules look to be in place until October 26. With 2 weeks until they have to settle, Ms. Buckle said the couple were facing some tough decisions, including moving in with her parents in their downsized home until they were able to find a place to live. I mean, this is the thing. Hang on, I'll have a shot of coffee here. I need it. This is the thing, guys. They've got a place to go. They've got a place to go. Not like the lady we were looking at yesterday who really has nowhere to go. You know, they're in a much better position. Oh, well, they'll have to bunk with mum and dad for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, and it's going to be horrible. They'll never want to do it again. But it's not the end of the world. But it just shows you how stupid these government rules are. It really does. Within 2 weeks, until they have to settle, she said the couple were facing... Okay, we've read that already. When Stage 4 happened, it restricted us from getting anything, she told Domain. Even though they were looking at properties online, she said photos weren't enough to be able to make a decision to buy or rent. We didn't want to settle for something that was less than what we wanted, she said. If they were forced to find a rental, it would mean spending money they didn't want to. I'd much rather pay off my mortgage than someone else. What's this just... In our psyche, everyone is against renting here in Australia. It just shows you it's really looked down upon, isn't it? Yet so many people invest in property. How do they expect to make money off it? They look down at the people who are just so low renting off them when the renters may be in a better financial position than some of these people buying these houses. It's crazy. It really is. Everyone's terrified to rent. Come on, guys, renting for 6 months, renting for 12 months is not the end of the world. And it ain't that much money. Okay? It ain't that much money. If it allows you to make a smarter decision and to do things a little less crazy. Despite the tough circumstances, she said she feels very lucky, especially as they can move in with her parents in Mooralbark. Oh, yeah, that's a nice area right there. I actually feel guilty because we're much better off than a lot of people. We're very fortunate because we're healthy people, and we have healthy children and still have our jobs. We also have money to buy a house. We're just in this pretty average situation because of the restrictions. What they could do is they could get a tent out of the yard if their parents have a place out at Mooralbark. The kids could tent out there. It'd be fun. Unfortunately, their story is not unique, with thousands of people caught out by the restrictions, said Marcus William, Chief Executive of Harcourt Groups Australia. We're dealing daily with people who have lost their jobs, lost their partners, who are emotionally at their limit. And sadly, as an industry, we've not been able to assist them the way we'd like to. We've got people who have agreed to purchase a property, and we're not able to sell their existing house because of the restrictions, so they're being forced into bridging loans at huge costs. This is not one or two people, this is hundreds of people, he added. We've got people who've lost their jobs, whose relationships have broken down, and we can't help them move. Mr. Williams, along with the Real Estate Industry Partners and the Real Estate Institute of Victoria, wants the government to allow one-on-one inspections sooner to enable those who need to sell, often due to a change in circumstances, to get on with their lives. The plea was echoed by Hodges Chief Executive Carmel Kellett, who said she had heard too many awful stories of people who have had their financial hardship exacerbated by the restrictions. Their lives have been impacted through COVID, and they're trying to take their future into their own hands, and they're not able to. In one example, a couple expecting their first child have to sell after the father-to-be had his work hours cut. The bank isn't able to support them anymore. The wife called up one of our directors in tears, she said. Not only is the family about to enter a new phase, they won't necessarily have a home to move to. What happens if the bank forecloses on their property? Ms. Kellett says delaying market activity would only make matters worse, and it was important to give people a better opportunity to buy and sell now before JobSeeker and JobKeeper and bank support were wound back, leaving more people in financial stress. It exacerbates the problem if we don't allow people to sell their property when they need to. So this is showing you the human price, just one aspect of these government interventions and restrictions in the economy. This is part of the price that we're paying. The price that we're paying to deal with this illness and to mitigate the health impacts. It just show, I mean, is the price worth it? This is just one tiny subset of it, of the real estate industry. What else is going on out there? As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.